Hey Albert, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love your backdrop.
Thank you. Well, I gotta say, I love the movie. I mean, I watched it this morning and I had a fun time watching it. It was both comedic and action packed, and it was a perfect blending of the two genres.
No, well, thank you so much. I can't tell you how thrilling it is to hear that.
So my first question is, where did the idea for the film come from?
Well, the idea for this movie came from my love of movies. As a kid growing up, I used to be love getting lost in the theater, and those films that really kind of like got me smiling and going were those late '80s and '90s action films.
Yeah.
This film was somewhat of a throwback to those films that I loved growing up. Except I wanted to kind of take those stories and those journeys that I went on, but infuse them with these like talented women and allow them to go on that same journey that I watched as a kid growing up, but they were primarily fulfilled by men.
That's awesome. I gotta say though, I mean, I always say this: we need more female action heroes nowadays. Like we're not getting enough of that. We always get the ones that don't have as much skills as others, but I gotta tell you that for me, Wallis Day really kicked some major butt in this.
Wallis is fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
and I know she has a background in MMA and Muay Thai, and I'm glad that this is a project where she got to show those skills, especially in that fight scene against the big boxer. I mean,
yeah,
I really enjoyed that fight.
well, thank you. Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments in the film, and yeah, Wallace can definitely like kick some butt, as Sasha can as well. And
Oh yeah,
all of the women, I think, bring in their collective set of skills to the trouble they have in front of them, and are able to kind of utilize them to the best of their ability. And they all have unique skills, which I was very specific in terms of the way that I wrote this, and the way that everybody brings something to the table collectively to create that potential positive outcome at the end.
oh exactly, and that's what I really liked about it too. I mean, the four main characters were eclectic. They had their, like you said, they had their own set of skills. I even like their intros where they repeat the same line that this is F and BS, and then
Yeah.
it supersedes. I think that's a great way to introduce these characters. I
Well,
mean,
it's a way to tie them all together, but show that they're all different, right?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And even though Sky's character is the one who gets kidnapped, and it's up to the other three because they have the more superior skills to take them on, to take the group on. Even though her character was really funny because she reminds me of Johnny Cage. Like she's just a star in the movies, and she doesn't get enough, flack for her actual skills. So she's like the more scaredy cat of the group at first.
Oh,
But
completely.
I love the fact that throughout as the movie progresses, she gains the confidence needed to help accomplish the mission.
Of course. And I think that like through this experience, like each one of them has grown, in one way or another. And I think they actually they talk about that on the plane ride at the end. They've all gained something from this crazy ride that they've gone on.
Exactly. And what was it like shooting in Thailand of all places for this movie? Because I noticed not just the Thai crew, but I recognized the cinematographer and one of the producers, Wick Chaos. He's done a lot of films out there with the likes of Mark Dacascos and Kane Kasugi and them. What was it like working with him on as the linesman?
Which was fantastic. I mean, this movie doesn't happen the way that it turned out without him. And I was able to, being a first-time director, I was able to lean on him in terms of building out these action scenes, color palettes, storytelling. I was very fortunate to be able to work with someone that had such a, vast amount of experience in this world. So it was all about my communication to him, and then trusting that he would be able to facilitate what I had in my brain, and which was able to do that consistently. So I'm very grateful to the experience of working with him.
That's awesome. And then you have Jack Kesey, who plays Jasper. And what I liked about his character is he wasn't like the big strong guy who had to help the group out. He was like the background player. But I like the little twist in his stories as well, his character as well. And I kind of deciphered what his character was at first. I kind of knew what the deal was with him, but I felt like he didn't have to be there as the big hero at the end. He was more like
No, and he wasn't. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was very important that his role was like clearly defined, because he couldn't be the hero and he shouldn't be the hero. And that would take away everything that I was trying to do with this movie. but he did need to play an important role in terms of either helping or hindering these four women's journey.
Exactly. And so, what was some of the was there anything difficult that did you face any difficulties during production of the film? Maybe in terms of like an action sequence or, location or anything like that?
You know what? I feel incredibly fortunate that I can say no. It's like I have amazing, talented actors who connected with each other almost immediately when they arrived in Thailand. I had a crew that was so supportive of what I was trying to do and so talented, and were able to facilitate everything that I asked for. And there was zero stress shooting in beautiful Thailand. So I wish I had something to say, but I
Actually,
don't.
that makes it better because I think this is the first time I've ever heard that. Like nothing, it all went smooth and straightforward.
No.
Even like little things that happen. I think this is the first time I've ever heard that. I think that's awesome to see a film just go smoothly just the way it did.
And for me, what was important was like I'd had the opportunity to produce movies throughout my career, but I'd never had the opportunity to direct a movie. And I've always wanted to set a particular tone on set where we're all there to collaborate together. We're all making this film together. None of us are making this film alone. The director doesn't do it. The actors don't do it. Without each other, there's no movie. So I really wanted to kind of create and build out that environment and create an environment where it's just fun. It's like our job is a gift. We get to spend time playing. And at the end of what we do, people spend their money and their time to watch it. So let's just enjoy that experience.
Exactly.
So I tried to create that environment, and I feel lucky that I did with the help of everybody else. So it was just all fun. It was just laughs and smiles.
That's awesome. Did when it came to the four main characters, the actresses, did they ask for like certain things in terms of like, can I do this? Or, can I do this instead of, what was in the script, or they just follow along with it?
Absolutely. I mean, they all had ideas, and I operate on the assumption to defer to the people that know what they're doing better than you. So I'm not an actor. I don't get into the mind of characters. I just write them. But what I've always said to everybody is, this is the blueprint. Now we need to build it. As you build things, you might change the window, you might change the faucet. Let's see what works best. And you tell me what you think works best. So completely open to collaboration. I think that's the only way you get something awesome.
Yeah, and I gotta say, my other favorite scene besides the fight scene with Wallis and the big giant boxer, the interrogation scene was hysterical. I mean, I love that whole scene. It's like when they say like, "Oh, we're in the middle of nowhere. You're not gonna be able to hear you," and then Isabella does her little tease, and then with Wallace's threat to,
Yeah.
I mean, that was such a fun interrogation scene. Like you barely see anything like that these days. It's more like
I love that moment, actually. That's one of my favorite moments when Wallis comes up and she says, "I'm the big bad wolf." I just find that to be such a powerful moment.
That's awesome. That overall, like I said, we need more popcorn flicks. Everyone's nowadays they're looking for award winners and stuff like that. I just want something fun, and this was hands down a fun action comedy. And so, with that said, are you going to direct again down the road? Is there anything planned?
First of all, thank you for that, because that's exactly what I wanted to do with this film. Pure popcorn entertainment, get lost, smile, feel good, turn it off, time not wasted.
Yep.
Like, that's what I'm looking to do. So I'm thrilled that's the way you connected with it. And yes, I am absolutely directing another film, because this is all I want to do right now, other than the other films I'm producing. And the next one's called Cam 48. And it's the story of a woman who's into sports betting and gambling, owes bookies a lot of money. She inadvertently finds a camera at an old pawn shop that she realizes films 48 hours in the future. So she starts using it to her advantage until she inadvertently films her own murder and has 48 hours to solve it.
Oh man! All right, I'm so in game for that one. I love those kind of stories. I cannot wait to see that one.
I have to say, I love seeing your face. I'm so excited to make this movie now.
That's awesome. So Sheroes is coming out on June 23rd, and as George and I both agree, this is just a fun popcorn flick. You got to check it out. And once again, Jordan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Albert, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the film.
All right. Well, you take care. Have a good day.
Okay. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.